What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So you saw the title, we're ranking all of the Paco Rabanne fragrances that I own. Let me repeat, all of the Paco Rabanne fragrances that I own. I own 21 different bottles, including, I do have a couple backups of Invictus Aqua 2018, but they're not in here, just the one bottle that I mainly spray from. And, you know, there is no bad fragrance here. Not to me anyways, but we're going to rank them from my least favorite to favorite or worst to best, however you would like to see it. Now, the bottom two, it's just because I haven't spent a lot of time with them. I got them at the beginning of summer. They are definitely not summer fragrances. And, yeah, we're going to go through them one by one. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them and why they are what they are to me. And it is what it is. Let's get into it. Stay tuned. Starting at 24. Starting at 21 with Paco Rabanne's Phantom. This is the Legion bottle, the camo. So it's just a special edition bottle of the original. So with the opportunity for them about the same, to buy them at about the same price. Of course, I'm with the one with the urban camo print on it. So I haven't, like I said, I haven't really worn this one. Of the three, I really liked the Intense the most. That's the only one I've actually worn so far, so it's ranked the highest of the three Phantoms, obviously. With this one, just, you know, sweet, little woodsy. It's a little strange, the way the sweetness comes across. Doesn't remind me of a bunch of other sweet designers, but then again, it's not a super unique fragrance that's reinventing the sweet designer wheel either. Just one of those fragrances that I need to spend more time with, so naturally it's got to, you know, something's got to take the caboose. In this instance, it's Paco Rabanne Phantom. Next is the same case at 20. It's Paco Rabanne Phantom Parfum. I do like the matte black finish to the bottle. This is a little bit better. We'll actually give it a little spritz. I do like the way they smell. I just haven't spent enough time with them to really put them any higher than other ones I've spent more time with that I do just naturally enjoy more. Again, typical bubblegummy-like sweetness, which is kind of a hallmark for Paco Rabanne. A lot of they're known for the sweet designer fragrances, that's for sure. Nice little touch of spice, some woods, you know, the run-of-the-mill stuff. It's again, not reinventing the wheel. The bottle's an interesting little gimmick. But, you know, the fragrance is good, not great. And even after spending time with it, would I rank it above some of these other ones? Who knows? I guess we'll find out in the future. But next in line is Paco Rabanne Phantom Parfum. Now, admittedly, one I don't wear enough that's actually pretty damn good, I gotta say. For those of you that like the Ultra Zest scent profile from Amen, we've got Paco Rabanne Ultra Red Man. This got a lot of hype years ago for people to grab. It is a pretty good performer, like a 7 to 8 hour longevity fragrance. It's kind of like a, you know, staple gun type of thing, the way it sprays. It smells good. It's got that spiced orange creamsicle vanillic type of thing going on. Very much in the Amen Ultra Zest type of scent profile. I kept wanting to mix Ultra Red and Ultra Zest. Tongue twister, I guess. Brain fart, if you will. It's good stuff, I gotta say. Is it the greatest fragrance they've ever put out? No, but you can still find this one for a decent price. And of the fragrances that smell like Ultra Zest, it's an argument for being the best one. And like I said, it's highly complimented stuff. It performs really well. What's not to like? Paco Rabanne Ultra Red Man. Now, with as much respect as I have for this fragrance, you would think, I guess because it's ranked so low, it's not the most respectful move, right? Because I literally like every flanker that I have more than it. But there's no denying the impact and the cultural shift that Paco Rabanne 1 Million brought. I kind of have it just to have it. Once in a blue moon, I wear it. It's not the monster of old, but I still get 6, 7, sometimes 8 hours in the few times I've worn it. I mean, there's a little bit of a juice level drop here. You know, I have worn it, you know, sporadically over the years. When I get in the mood for it, that bubblegum sweetness, cinnamon heavy spice, nice and ambery, highly attractive, youthful type of scent. Former clubbing king, if you will. Nothing I ever wore. Like this wasn't even in the marketplace when I was really hitting the bars. Way back when, I want to say this came out like 08 or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but my days of really hitting it hard were already over at that point. But it is a solid fragrance. Is it worth buying today? Yes and no. I really believe you can get the core DNAs in a lot of its flankers, and I think all the flankers are better. But it's still a good fragrance. It's an iconic fragrance in the modern day, in the 2000s up, and it definitely deserves some respect. It's Paco Rabanne 1 million. Now this is where some of you are going to get mad at me because this is the one you hate in the line, but I actually like it more than 1 million. It's 1 million Cologne. Been a while since I've worn it. Kind of smells like Invictus Aqua with this synthetic dry rose note. I've heard people say, what's the specific thing they like to say? I've heard the cat piss term, which totally disagree. Urinal cake, I've heard that before. Bug spray, that's the main one. I've heard people say it smells like bug spray. It's highly synthetic, but I wouldn't say that. I think it's actually quite good. I just haven't worn it in a long time. What do I have lined? I don't have anything lined out today. What the hell? I'm going to wear this today. In fact, I'm going to hit legs in a little bit. Got the oversized diamond stud, may Scott Hall rest in peace, shirt on. Just 2 sprays because it's pretty strong, but I'm going to wear it later on after the gym too. 1 million Cologne. It's been a while. And man, I do like it. Look, not going to be for everybody. Very polarizing. Pretty hated for the most part from what I've seen over the years. But I think it's got some charm to it. Doesn't really smell like 1 million, honestly. I don't pick up any relation to the DNA. I think it's a reach to call it 1 million Cologne. But as a standalone fragrance, I'm quite a fan. 1 million Cologne. This next one's pretty new. Probably, actually, I think it's my newest addition from Paco Rabanne. Even newer than Invictus Parfum. I got this, right around the time of my competition in June, and I wore it to my uncle's 40th birthday party. Paco Rabanne Pure Excess. Sweet, sugary, a little boozy. It's a playful fragrance. It definitely reminds me of the 212 VIP profile. Like, I want to say people relate it to Black specifically. I don't think it's got the level of like that darker spice, because I get a little bit of a darker spice than over this with VIP Black, but I do get kind of like that vodka clear alcoholic type of sweet sugary tones, like all these different things. Performs really well. It's youthful. It's kind of a fun evening out. I mean, it was a, more like a family reunion at a restaurant kind of thing. We had a huge party of people though. We had like 40, 50 people. But it was a good fragrance for the good, right setting. So a little bit of a memory already with it, tied to it. I like it. How many times I'm going to wear it in the future, I don't know. But I do like the way it smells. I would like to get Pure XS Night. I've never smelled that one. I've heard it's even better. I enjoy it. Pure XS. The version of 1 million that actually ties to 1 million with a more muted sweetness. There's a little bit more freshness. The benzoin kind of gives it a little bit of effervescence. I think they list like citruses and violet leaf, and it doesn't inherently smell like the note pyramid would say. But 1 million Royal is a solid release. If you don't like the heavy, youthful, bubblegummy sweetness of a lot of the others in the line, because a lot of them do feature that, this might be the 1 million for you to check out. It definitely has less playfulness, and it's not really a serious fragrance either, but there's a bit more freshness. I want to say a bit more daytime, slightly milder weather wearability. It's not necessarily just an evening scent or a cooler weather scent like a lot of them are. This is one that I think you can pull off year round if you like the profile and you just want to dial that sweetness back a bit. I think 1 million Royal is really good for that. Now we have our first entry into the Invictus line. This one took a little bit to grow on me. I always thought it was good from the start, but I never was captivated by it. It had to grow on me. Now I quite enjoy it. It is Invictus Victory. The first version of Invictus Victory. It does have a little bit of that bubblegum aquatic tie-in with some incense, slightly darker elements to it. And you would think an incense-dominant Invictus, that's 2 things I love, right? And it's not a bad thing. It's just not what I envisioned it to be at first. That's why I was kind of like, do I need it? And eventually I was like, yeah, I need it after trying it more. But my first impressions was just kind of, yeah, it's pretty good, but I don't have to have it right now. I actually tried it at a Sephora. I actually did a vlog-style first impressions video years ago on the channel for this one. But I have become a fan over the years. I haven't worn it yet this year. I definitely wore it last year. Actually, during the move to Florida. This was that couple day span. This was one of the fragrances in the rotation for that. So I definitely do have a specific memory tied to this from when we moved from Colorado to Florida, which was quite the haul. But yeah, I got some love for it. Invictus Victory. Next up, this one kind of threw me for a loop the first time I smelled it. I bought it blindly from Macy's, which doesn't happen often. That I just, because eventually I'll be able to get them at a discounter, but I really wanted it. Invictus Platinum. So Invictus Platinum has this slightly medicinal-like tone to me in the opening. It's a little green and herbal. It's sweet and fruity. And it gets really good as it starts to dry down. Great performer. This one, again, a little strange to me in the opening the first time I smelled it. It kind of was not what I was expecting, but grew on me really, really quickly. If you go look at my full review that came after the fact, I ended up really enjoying this fragrance. Another one, I have too many fragrances. I haven't worn this one in a while. It's not my favorite Invictus. Obviously, we have many fragrances to go, but I do like it, and I have a feeling this one's going to be on its way out soon because I don't really hear anybody talking about it. And if it's not even getting a lot of love in the fragrance community, I can only imagine what's happening with the masses. It's Invictus Platinum. If you were to take the original Invictus and add a sweeter, boozy accord to it, you get Invictus Intense, one that never really got any love. This is a little 50 ml bottle, which is plenty. This is like a 3-spray fragrance. It is really strong. It is the sweetest of them. I find this is the sweetest Invictus you can get. I got to really be in the mood. This almost makes my teeth hurt smelling it. It's so sugary sweet because it has that sweet bubblegum smell, and the whiskey accord that they used here I think enhances the sweetness greatly because the whiskey accord in fragrance is a sweet boozy accord. Dare I say sweeter than the brandy accord that you get in a lot of fragrances, but great performer. If you like sweet and boozy with a little bit of an aquatic undertone, it is really good. I mean, hell, I like it over 2 other versions of Invictus. I just don't wear it all that often because I got to be in the mood for like really, really sweet. I like the sweet designers, but this one's like really sweet. Invictus Intense. Now this is the one of the Phantoms I have a little bit more experience with. This is Phantom Parfum Intense. Has that blue gradients at the bottom of the bottle. It's my favorite bottle of the bunch. It's my favorite smelling one of the bunch. A little too heavy to keep wearing, but I really wanted to spend some time with it on skin when I first, because I bought all 3 Phantoms at the same time because this is the newest release, and I didn't want to buy the newest release without having the previous 2 releases, so I bought them as a group. And the newest is the best to me. This one's a little bit deeper. This one's got more of a woody tone to it. It still has the sweetness. I get a little bit more spice out of this one. There's kind of this slight earthy facet to it that makes it a bit more interesting, while still has a bright aromatic top at the same time. Like it's kind of a dichotomous blend, and it performs great. Again, this is going to be the first one I go to when the weather starts to chill out and is not as high heat humidity. As we really transition into the fall weather, not that soon, but sooner than later. Even though I haven't worn the other ones as full wearings yet, I'm still going to want to wear this one first because I quite enjoy it. Paco Rabanne Phantom Intense. Great performance, ties to the original's DNA, and elevates it, if nothing else. 1 Million Elixir. I'm a fan. Rich rose, nice and sweet. Dense woody backbone, has that 1 million DNA present. It's a really good flanker. There's an argument for this being the best one. This is a lot of people's favorite 1 million. When it was the newest, it definitely was my favorite. I didn't have the Parfum, even though this came out, 2 years after the Parfum. I didn't have the Parfum yet, which, spoiler, the Parfum's my favorite. Anybody that watches the channel on a regular basis should know, probably knows, or maybe already knows. I don't know. Said no a lot, right? 1 Million Parfum is my favorite 1 million. But this one's really, really good. Really good. And this is part of a run. Pretty much since the Parfum, they've been on a run of great 1 million flankers. Now, spoiler, I do have a decan of 1 Million Gold, the newest one. That one underwhelmed me greatly. I don't know if and when I'm going to get a bottle. It smells like a generic cedarwood fragrance. It's just cedarwood mostly is what I get from it. It doesn't develop much. I was finally disappointed by 1 million release. The newest one, 1 Million Gold, is kind of a disappointment for me. Price is right. I'll probably still get it because I like getting the flankers. I like having them. but it's not what I hoped it would be. But this is everything I hoped it would be and more. And if you haven't tried this one yet, especially if you like rose, if you don't mind rose, this is really, really good and has that elixir type performance that people expect when elixir's on the name of the fragrance. 1 Million Elixir. Now this is another 1 Million flanker that was a big surprise, and I do like it a little bit more than the elixir. 1 Million Golden Oud. A lot of people love this one. This one was a surprise. This is basically Middle Eastern 1 Million. It has this dry, spiced, leathery, woody accord, very oriental dominant incense, but still has a little bit of that 1 Million sweetness in there. Still has, I would say, let's say 30% of the profile is still 1 Million. They managed to make Middle Eastern 1 Million is how I've always touted it. I think this is a great release. It's a great performer. Those of you that like the incense, spices, and woods, this is great. Add a bunch of that on top of 1 Million and you get Golden Oud. It's really good. Easily a 9 or 10 hour fragrance in longevity. It's pretty loud. It is so, I can't say enough that it is so good. I literally only like 2 other 1 Millions more. And I think a lot of you will understand why. Maybe you don't agree with 1 Million Parfum, but it is my favorite. But the next one we'll be talking about a lot of people love because it's that good. Actually, I got 2 more ahead. My bad. There's a lot of good 1 Millions. What can I say? There's a lot of 1 Millions in general. And 1 Million Golden Oud was kind of a breath of fresh air for those of us in the fragrance community because maybe the masses won't go for this, but us in the community, we love stuff like this. You mean to tell me you made Middle Eastern 1 Million? Oh, count me in. 1 Million Golden Oud. A flanker to a flanker that I like more than the flanker. Invictus Victory Elixir. Throw that elixir name, they gotta perform well, right? This definitely performs well. This has a deeper earthy patchouli note than this. This has this DNA, and it ventures so much further from the bubblegum aquatic DNA of Invictus. But man, this is one of the better incense vanilla patchouli designer fragrances I've ever smelled. Great performance. This is really good. I don't necessarily think it really belongs in the line because again, I think you're reaching to get a whole lot of the Invictus DNA here. But just as a fragrance, just disregard it's in an Invictus bottle. Freaking great. Great fragrance, great performance, not overly synthetic, rich, deep, and doesn't, I mean, there's a slew of fragrances that tie together that have this smoky vanilla smell, but it's the way the patchouli smells that separates this one from so many others that people say smell like this or this smells like one of those. It is really, really good. I highly encourage you check this one out. Invictus Victory Elixir. Now we're going to the iconic 1 Millions. 1 Million Lucky. Man, is this good. Honey, hazelnut, plum. I'm normally not one for the gourmands. Certain ones, though, like this, captivate me. I can't help but enjoy. If you're one that wants the compliments, and there's no guarantee, you may get this and go through a whole bottle and never get one compliment. Let's make that perfectly clear here. Everything's different, everybody's different, everyone around you is different. No guarantees, but probability, very, very high with this fragrance. This fragrance is so charismatic, so delicious and enjoyable. The sillage is magnificent on this fragrance. It's a well-performing fragrance. I wouldn't call it a beast unless you're the type that likes the heavy spray, aka bathe in the damn thing. Then yeah, it's going to be a beast. Everything's a beast when you bathe in it, you know? But man, if you're the type that likes a really good sweet designer, I mean, there's an argument that this is one of the best sweet designers anybody's ever put out, let alone Paco Rabanne. Such a good one. 1 Million Lucky. A discontinued fragrance of Legend at this point. This was a lot of people's favorite Invictus. And you do get elements of it in the new Parfum. But you want to talk about a salty MF. Whoo, man, is this rich. Invictus Legend. Monster. Oh, tread lightly. Don't spray this heavy. Don't do that. You crazy person, don't do that. Stop it. Somebody's laughing, bro, I always sprayed that 15 sprays when I had my... Stop it. Stop. 3 sprays is ridiculous on this. 5 sprays, choke myself out and go anosmic. I've done it several times. I've got a decent little dent in it. It's not a huge dent, but man, this came out when I was at Mercedes, and I was told I was wearing too much 3 different times. That was how I dialed it down to 3 sprays. And this Mercedes dealer was huge. Offices weren't closed off completely except in the finance department and the manager's offices. Like, we had walls in our offices in sales, but big open areas, you know what I mean? They weren't little bitty cubicles and stuff like that. Big open areas. This is a privately owned luxury dealer, so we had decent offices. Giant open showroom with, you know, the ceilings must have been 25, 30 feet high. Like, point is, big open airspace, well circulated. I kept getting told, you're wearing too much. The whole dealership smells like that. Yeah, too much is too much. Okay, so those of you that are laughing at 15 sprays, you crazy person. My God. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I don't know. But this stuff, so it does smell like Invictus, but some accords are flipped around. It's very salty, as I mentioned. Super sea salt, amber, and bay leaf. You still get the aquatics and sweet and all that, but it's heavy on the amber, the sea salt, and the bay leaf. It's rich. It's powerful. It is so impressive. It's like the rock star of the line. This is, like I said, the stuff of legend. It just happens to be called Legend. No pun was intended, but I guess kind of. It just works. But this is iconic. It's sad they discontinued it. It's a monster too. It's Invictus Legend. And this next one, and real quick, some of you that don't know, the reason it says the name of the fragrance on the bottle is the tester. I got a few of them that are testers. That's why they say the name. But this, speaking of discontinued, we got back-to-back discontinued legendary fragrances from Paco Rabanne. 1 Million Prive, fall time in a bottle. I'm almost speechless. This is so good. That doesn't mean I would encourage you to go spend reseller prices on eBay. Just get Paris Corner's Milano Prive. It's almost identical because it's a synthetic designer. It's almost identical. Just spend 24, 25 bucks, I think is what it is. Get that. The only difference is you're not going to have the same bottle, but it's pretty much the same fragrance. But this is amber and cinnamon, sweet, and this rich tobacco. It's a sweet spiced tobacco that paints a picture, like it even looks like an autumn fragrance, the bottle color scheme. Oranges, yellows, reds, and browns. The whole fall harvest color scheme is this fragrance. I see those colors. I envision those colors when I smell this fragrance. It smells like leaves falling off of a tree. And the temperature getting a little milder. Maybe you're wearing a quarter zip, you know, a lighter type of pullover of some sort. Maybe not the heaviest of fleeces or heavyweight cotton, but there's a little crisp in the air. It's getting cooler in the evenings. You're getting closer to Thanksgiving. And it's a great performer. 1 Million Prive. I guess technically I'm putting more respect on this fragrance's name than even remotely close to 1 million. But look, there was a time this was my favorite fragrance. There was a time. This is my second bottle. Paco Rabanne Invictus. The original Invictus. This has gotten a lot of love and hate. This opening's been replicated to death by other fragrances. There was a trend of having an Invictus opening for a long time with fragrances. This is a monster on my skin too. I got a bunch of compliments with this fragrance. This was my most complimented fragrance until I got the Aqua 2018 flanker. That's my most complimented fragrance. This is my second most complimented fragrance. Both my two most complimented fragrances are Invictus and Invictus Aqua 2018. I love this stuff. I haven't worn it in a while because it's crazy to me. I actually like two versions of Invictus more. Because when I look back years ago, it's like, man, I don't think they're gonna put out a flanker I like more than this one. But they did. They definitely did. But iconic for me personally, not just because it's gotten a bunch of compliments. I just love the way it smells. It's a confident boosting type of thing. Like I said, I like the sweet designers. I like the modern stuff. That's why I'm such a designer guy. I enjoy these simple, easy to wear, easy to like, easy to understand, highly versatile fragrances. A lot of them tend to be sweeter these days, even something that's summer appropriate like this. And I enjoy them. What can I say? As does the wife. Paco Rabanne Invictus. In at number 3, it's the newest And I think it's the highlight of the line because you get a little bit of all of them. The new Invictus Parfum even has a similar look with the bottle's gradients to Legend. And you get some of that here. So you get some of Aqua. You get some of the bubblegum sweetness of the original. You get a little bit of the herbal facets of Platinum. People say in the dry down they get Victory Elixir. I don't get so much of that kind of sweetness. I don't get the earthy patchouli and all that. But they have this black soap accord. It is quite soapy. A darker soap, aquatic, salty, herbal. Like I said, I call it the highlight reel. It's like you're smelling a highlight reel of the Invictus line. And part of me feels like that's a reason to wait to make a parfum flanker for a designer line. Wait until you get 6, 7, 8, 9 fragrances in the line, then do the parfum and let it encompass elements of all, if not most, of the fragrances in the line. I really like the way they did this. Hell, for my guy Dedrick, in one day at work, this was about a week and a half ago, he got 12 compliments from 12 different people in one day at work with this fragrance. It's now his most complimented fragrance in one day ever. 12 compliments in one day from 12 different people is impressive. For those of you that matters to. I mean, even if I wear them for me. I'm the same way. I'm with you. I say that all the time. I wear it for me. I want to smell me. But boy, it sure does feel good when somebody tells you smell nice or asks what you're wearing and gives you a moment to talk about your fragrance because you're into fragrance. If you're watching this, you're really into fragrance. As am I, right? I love it. I think it's a great release for them. I think it's one of the 5 best releases of this year, designer or not. I love Invictus, and this is the highlight reel, Invictus Parfum. Now, this being my number 2 may bother some, and if it does, what's wrong with you? Why would that bother you? It's just my opinion. It's what I like. It's my taste. But some of you will agree because it might be your taste as well. We've mentioned it earlier. Invictus Parfum. 1 Million Parfum. I've been talking about so much Invictus in the last couple. 1 Million Parfum. It's literally my number 2 Paco Rabanne fragrance. I love this fragrance. It's one that I feel I can wear in the summer. It's got a little bit of a beachy sunscreen-like feel with the solar notes, and tuberose has this creaminess to it that gives this beachy-like feel. It still has the bubblegum playfulness. It's a monster performer on my skin. I'm just a fan. Give me a little bit on my hands. Give me a little bit to sniff on while we talk about it, because, man, I love it. I love it. And look, it came out to mixed reviews in 2020. I never understood it. I didn't smell it back then. And that's not what detoured me. I just never got around to it. It took me a couple of years to get around to it. I think late 2022 was when I got to it. And I fell in love instantly. God, it smells so good. It smells so good. Part of me wishes I wouldn't have committed already. I kind of want to wear this now. But I haven't worn 1 Million Cologne in a long time. I've got it on. We'll refresh later. I'm going to stick to 1 Million Cologne. But this is my favorite 1 Million. My second favorite Paco Rabanne out of 21 bottles. Again, got the bubblegum playfulness, but that tuberose gives it character. Doesn't make it too feminine. Gives it this beachy feel to it. And it's a heavy, sweet, thick fragrance. And you wouldn't think wear it in the summer, but I've worn this to the beach last year. Did fine. Totally fine. Put whatever in whatever situation you want to. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. Some things are more appropriate than others in certain situations, but I love it for the summer, and you can definitely get away with it year-round. 1 Million Parfum. And last but not least, my favorite Paco Rabanne Invictus fragrance, my second favorite fragrance in my collection. It has been dethroned this year, but Paco Rabanne Invictus 2018. Yes, I do like it more than the 2016 and 2024. I do have a large decan of the 2024. Maybe at some point I'll get it, but I don't like it as much as this. This is more powdery. I find this to be less sharp. It's not as chemically synthetic smelling to me. It's more powdery and fresh. It puts a smile on my face. It lifts my mood. I only wear it in the summertime. This is my second bottle. I have an additional 50 ml that somebody sent me that it wasn't for them, so I got that backup bottle. Then I got another 100 ml tester like this that somebody sent me. That they had an extra bottle and wanted it to come to a good home because they know I love it. Now look, will I go through all 3 of those bottles with this collection? Probably not. But in the event it's there if I need it, and I kind of like that I have it there if I need it. It gives me more reason to wear it more often, to force myself to stop trying all the variety and stick to my favorite. Because it's powdery, it's citric, it's woodsy, it's super aquatic, it's bright, so bright. It's not a monster. I get about 7 hours of longevity, and the first 2 hours are incredibly loud. That's why I've gotten so many compliments with this. In the first 2 to 3 hours, man, that's the sweet spot for people to smell you, I gotta say. And what adds to it is the mood it puts me in, the smile it puts on my face. I just become that much more approachable, I guess. I just look so much more approachable when I'm wearing this fragrance because it literally boosts my mood. It's so good. It's my favorite. Invictus Aqua 2018. Well, that's the ranking of my 21 bottles from Paco Rabanne, from worst to best, my least favorite to my favorite. Thank you guys for watching the whole way through. I know it's a longer video. I sure appreciate you. And we'll catch you on the next one. Y'all have a good one.